Although the Tales of Tanorio relaunch was delayed 2 weeks, going from the 3rd all the way to the 17th, meaning this Saturday, we still got some PvP info in the form of a Google Sheet link, full of Move Tutor moves for every fully evolved Tanorian except for Rooster, Fomogame, and the Flywither forms for some reason. I know we were initially promised the new stat spreads for all the Tanorians that got them, but the community decided just to see the Move Tutors instead, since according to Fyzx, the stat spread changes aren't that drastic anyways. So this will mostly be a yapping video of me going over all the Move Tutor moves and what I think about them, so it's not going to be that much editing or anything like that. So if you want to just tab out and listen along, you can do that. One last thing before we get into the video, I will be streaming my replay through of the relaunch here on YouTube and maybe on Twitch as well if I manage to get it set up. So be sure to tune in this Saturday for that, and I hope to see you there. Assuming that there's not another delay or anything, of course. Alright, now I'm very excited to get into these moves. They're not the stats that we were initially promised, but according to Fyzx, there's not that many stat changes to begin with, which I kind of predicted, like I said in one of my previous videos, that I don't think everything needs a stat change, but whatever. We got Move Tutors. Now keep in mind, these are just Move Tutors. This does not include scrolls, which is going to be the TMs of Tales of Tanorio. So like, this is just all like Move Tutors. I just want to go through all these and see which ones kind of interest me. Now looking at some of these moves, like now looking at the top of this list already, I'm already seeing some new moves. Like starting off with Gardemis, we got Night Beam, Side Surge, Aggravate, Nutrient Drain, and Star Stream, which is pretty cool. I say Night Beam is more for Psychic types, since Psychic does resist Cosmic, so you could slap Night Beam up there for like certain Psychics. Side Surge is nice, so it can hit things like Dynastogan, which would wall both of its stabs. Aggravate is always amazing, since like now, and I don't know if many people peep this, but in the trailer we were shown that Gardemis has a new stat spread, and its new speed stat is 118, which is like, as far as we know, the second fastest thing in the game behind Paragrievous, obviously. So fast Aggravate is always good. Nutrient Drain, a more reliable stab move, is pretty nice, since it had to rely on like what, Pedal Tornado, which was like 80% accurate. It is 100 base power, but 80% accurate, which is like not the best. And Star Stream, which is a new move, but it's a move that basically a new cosmic move. It's 80 base power, 100 accuracy, and it has a 10% chance to lower the target's range attack. But I still think Gardemis will use Lunar Rain. Maybe I'm missing something, but I think it, like, Gardemis will just still use Lunar Rain over this. I mean, I guess it's nice to have another option with like 5 more PP, I guess. I don't know. And then we have Ignidor, which has some new moves and some interesting ones that I see already. Heat Slam, I'm assuming it's just a fire type stab move. I mean, it had to rely on like Crash and Burn before, or like Burning Bite, which was like varying difference of power, and the stronger one, Crash and Burn, removes your fire type, so it's not too reliable. And then Burning Bite's like what, 70 base power. So yeah, now it has Heat Slam, which, I mean, to be fair, we don't know how strong it is. It could be like 80 to 90 base power. Regardless, I'm pretty sure it'll be fine. It will get Talon Thrash, but like, I feel like this is another situation where you would just use Soaring Spear. You know, if they keep Soaring Spear how it is that it's basically like an air type pursuit. So I don't see Talon Thrash seeing that much use. I don't know. Ancient Spin, which is basically, from what we've been told, it's a dragon type rapid spin, which honestly that's kind of cool. So Ignidor could be your hazard remover, which I didn't really expect. I mean, if anything, I expected like a default kind of thing, but it being a spinner, that's kind of cool. I don't know, I kind of like that. Hopefully it gets like the speed boosting second effect as rapid spin does, but yeah, that's kind of cool. It gets Call to Arms as well. Call to Arms is like a funny one, since think of it like in a doubles format. What would you even use next to Ignidor that gets Call to Arms? I'm thinking of the ones on top of my head, like Dynastogan, Morup, Garzer. I think Limufu gets it as well, but I have to use it for myself in doubles to see how that feels. Maybe it could be good, who knows. It also gets Shadow Slash, which I think that's more so for like, I guess you can hit like Cosmics harder. Cosmic is already weak to air. Maybe it can be the hit Jet Spirit. Actually, now that I'm looking at Jet Spirit, the very next thing on this list, it could hit Jet Spirit. And speaking of Jet Spirit, moving on to it, we see it has Wave Crash, Splash Dash, Trap Card, Wash Away, and it is indeed getting Frigid Apparition, which is a move that I think I suggested. I don't know if he saw that or it's already was a thing. Jet Spirit getting priority is pretty nice since it also gets to move Brute Force, so you can like Brute Force Splash Dash, which is pretty nice. It being a hazard setter as well, which I mean, it's a Jester. I guess it kind of makes sense. Like Jester, Jet Spirit, Trap card. The Jester's, I guess it's more of a Joker. The Jester. Is the Jester a card? Am I blanking? Am I blanking on this? Whatever, you know what I mean. Wash Away is water type defog, so it can set the hazards and it can remove hazards, which is, I mean, hey, singles players rejoice, my boys. Y'all got it. Pretty solid overall. Next up is Glam Cone, which gets Mega Beam, Inversion, Mystical Renewal, Heavenly Choir, and Gust Glide. Mega Beam being a cool, I guess is nice to have to get around Swift Feet users, because like, yes, you most likely want to use Supersonic, but like, let's say you're up against like a Swift Feet Pharrell or Swift Feet, I don't know, Champolin if it keeps it, since Bell Buzz gets it, or Swift Feet Shinsini. Now you're sitting there just like, say in your specs too, so you're blanking into like a, you know what I'm saying, a Swift Feet Tanorio, and you can't do no damage. So I don't know if you would run both, but you could run Mega Beam as a nice alternative to people thinking like, oh, he's definitely gonna just spam Supersonic. Inversion, I don't know about this one. Like, I mean, I know what the move does, but like, I don't know if it will particularly run it. That seems pretty gimmicky, but I mean, it's a nice option. I'm not writing it off at all. Mystical Renewables is an interesting one since Glam Cone doesn't have like the most, at least from what we know, like I said, all the stats could come later. Like it doesn't have like the best bulk, so I don't see this being too relevant as far as I'm aware. Heavenly Choir, I think that's one that I recommended as well. I also recommended a lot of sound-based moves for Glam Cone since I mean it's the punk rock Tenorian. So, and then Gust Glide is a new move, another new move. Gust Glide is a move that raises the user's speed by 1 stage. It's a 55 base power ranged attack. Air type move if the Gust doesn't give it away already. Pretty solid. It's actually pretty good for Glam Cone to have. Using this also is a way to get around just spamming Supersonic, because you use Supersonic because Glam Cone has like average speed and TOC standards is pretty average. So yeah, so you don't have to like do that one-dimensional choice spec Supersonic spam. Now you can run like Gust Glide, get that +1 speed, and then maybe if you get like a throat spray item, then you can use like Terror Scream throat spray into like Mega Beam and Heavenly Choir or Joyful Burst. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's more options for Glam Cone. I'm hyped for it. It's not gonna be a one-trick pony like I thought it was gonna be. And like I said, these are all just the move tutors. Like TMs, I don't know. I'm curious. I'm very curious. All right, now next is the bird himself, the big bird, Grievous. Now, this is a Tanorio that I will have on my radar. I have a conspiracy theory that this thing might be on Fraud Watch. I know. Like, from all the messages I've seen all over the Discord and stuff, Grievous is like one of the most hyped up Tenorians ever. But personally, I think it might be mid. Hey, bro. Hey, put the guns down. Put the guns down. Put the pitchforks down. We'll have to see, because when PvP was first announced, at first it seemed like a super broken. I'm not even like, y'all had it at that point. Yes, it's very broken. Outspeeds everything. Like, you don't even have to run an erratic trait. Yeah, I don't even think you had to even run any speed at one point. You just run like straight bulk and attack, and the throttle boost would just do the speed for you. So yeah, it was a pretty crazy Tenorian. But like, now that we have so many things, like we have like Ella Strike and like Cramroach and a lot of these other like bulky Tenorians, especially Ella Strike. Ella Strike is like, oh my god, I feel like Fyzx made that to be the ultimate Grievous counter. I'm curious. I'm looking at some of these moves right now. I see Close Quarter Combat. Outpace Assault is one that I recommended as well. Close Quarter Combat, I didn't expect it to get, honestly, but Outpace Assault is one that's like, wow, okay. Because if you don't know, Outpace Assault is like, it scales on how much faster you are than your opponent, and with something with throttle, obviously you'll be pretty fast. After it only gets stronger after every turn, you know what I'm saying? It has big snowball potential to just keep getting stronger and stronger and stronger. It starts off at like a base 60, I think, but like It already had aggravate, so I'm not sure why they have aggravate on here again, but whatever. And then we got Column Crash, which I did not expect. I mean, I guess it kind of makes sense because like it's supposed to be like a jet. Well, it used to be a jet. Now it's not a jet. Column Crash is an interesting one. Very, very interesting. Which, I mean, now it's good for Jet Spirit because the only thing that could wall it before Strike got in the game was Jet Spirit, since, I mean, it's immune to the fighting moves, and then, like, Jet Spirit has pretty good physical bulk to where, like, if you bulk it out, it can take, like, beak bashes, and then you can slow it down with, like, Ghosty Glare, and then go from there. So, yeah, I got my eye on this bird, but I do like the moves it gained. But like I said, Aggravate was already there, so I don't know why. It was already a level up move. All right, next. Catlight. It gets Nutrient Drain, Sharing is Caring, Glow Up, and Buzz Blast. Nutrient Drain, I mean, it's good for hitting like waters and gems and earth type. Also seeing that it gets Glow Up right there. I'm surprised no Quiver Dance, but maybe it's a TM move, who knows. Buzz Blast did it not get that before? Let me look it up real quick. It never had Buzz Blast at first, which is, wow, you had to rock out with a clean base 60 Paradoxal Parasite. Dang, Catlight lovers, y'all had it rough. Alright, so now I got Buzz Blast. And Sharing is Caring. It's a 60 base power range attack that heals for 50% of the damage dealt. Cool recovery option. So you get Nutrient Drain, you get Sharing is Caring. I'm not sure how much these moves will help it. Maybe if it gets like Triage, then I could see some potential here, but other than that, who knows. Next is its dark counterpart, Dracalia, which is, it gets Hideaway, which is, as a Devils player, this is kind of lit because it's a move that protects yourself, and if something targets you, it drops their speed by 1, which, so that could be very, very useful. They're better Hideaway users, but something that Dracalia can also do. Also, Bug Dart competition is very high. Dracalia will need everything you need. Good Riddance, which is a new move. Shadow Slash, which is, I'm actually very surprised that it didn't get Shadow Slash already. I thought it did, but like now just looking at it, its best option for dark type stab was Robbery, which is another 60 base power move. So both of the Dracalia and Catlight, the Calitomb line had it rough. And then we get Fast Track. It raises your speed by 2 stages, which is, it could come in clutch, not to say that it can't be used. Or, I mean, this attack is not that bad, so maybe you could run something like a Fast Track 3 attack. Maybe you can get away with that. Good Riddance is our game's parting shot. And like I said, the Devils player in me is like, it's kind of hyped. It's kind of weird that it's on Dracalia. I hope other things, maybe, actually, I'm looking down at the list. I see something else that gets it, but I'll get to that later. I'm curious what type. I'm guessing it's going to be a dark move, since the 2 Tanorians I see that gets it is dark type. So I'm guessing it will be a dark type move. I don't know. I'm kind of hyped. I'm really hyped to get down the rest of this list, because now that we got Parting Shot, hey, Devils is looking better and better. Next, we got Doopy Bara, which gets Rainbow Beam, Bloom Bash, Low Blow, Snow Globe, and Titanic Tackle. Now, this is very interesting because we all know that GR Doopy Bara is going to be a physical attacker, or at least it looks like a wrestler, so we would guess that it's a physical attacker. But we also see some range moves, so you can actually use base Doopy Bara, and its options are, I mean, it's not that bad, honestly. Like, you can run Rainbow Beam, so Rainbow Beam's a move that it changes types depending on your status. So you can run like a Flame Orb Doopy Bara and get like your base 90 ranged fire move. Bloom Bash is, I'm guessing, just a stronger grass move, so you don't have to rely on like Pedal Tornado. Low Blow is a priority dark type move. It raises whatever you hit's attack stat. So this could be useful in doubles if you want to use base Doopy Bara. Doopy Bara doesn't have like the best attack stat, so you can like side hit one of your teammates. This is very interesting. Doopy Bara actually gets pretty good coverage with Rainbow Beam and Snow Globe, and then Titanic Tackle, which is probably something that the GR would use, but who knows. Yeah, I'm surprised with Snow Globe. That one's really surprised me that it gets it. I get it. It's like I don't know. Maybe it's like paying homage to like the OG Doopy. I don't know if y'all remember old TOT had like the Doopy with the Snow Doopy, which we were supposed to get for the Winterfest, but they probably just scrapped that in the long run since we already got the Easter Doopy. So yeah, next is Dandelion, which also gets the move Bloom Bash. Like I said, it might be a strong grass type move. It gets Electro Fang, Bone Crush, and Dawn Rays. So it gets reliable recovery. Bone Crush is an interesting one, but Electro Fang is kind of interesting. I didn't expect it to get this. I don't know what you would really do with it. I guess other than like hitting Paragrievouses and other flying types. It could be pretty useful since you can use it on like a Featherweight set. Since Featherweight is a air immunity, but you gain +2 speed. So you can switch into like a Paragrievous Pecking Order or Beak Bash. Get the Featherweight boost and then Electro Fang it. It's not going to OHKO since Electro Fang is like a base 70, 75 base power move. But at least you can threaten it. And Dawn Ray's getting that reliable recovery, which can be pretty crazy. If you think about it, if you pair it with like Featherweight, and you get that like that +1 speed Dawn Rays boost and doubles, so you can like heal yourself and your ally. You get that like that fast healing. I really want to know what Bloom Bash is. Maybe I'll put it on the screen later in the video if I manage to get hands on what it does. Next up is Arborate, Draconic Wren, Petal Tornado, Coil, Gust Glide, and Ancient Spin. I don't know what to think of this one that much. I mean, it's cool that it gets Draconic Wren since I think it has a higher attack stat, but it already gets Dragon's Fury, so like it's one of those Ignidal moments with like, why would you use Talon Thrash over Soaring Spear? I mean, I guess you could use either or because Draconic Wren is base 80 and Dragon's Fury is base 85. Draconic Wren is base 80 with no secondary effect, and Dragon's Fury is base 85, but it has a 15% chance to weaken the user. So I guess if you don't want to be weakened, you can just take a 5% power debuff. If you don't want to risk being weakened, then probably want to go with Draconic Wren, so you can just use it for a little bit less power, but like no secondary effect. Petal Tornado, a good range attack that it can use. Coil, a move that it can boost its attack up, and so the next move won't miss. Gust Glide is an interesting one since Arborate isn't the fastest thing in the world. It's base 45 speed. So maybe it's just nice to have like an air range move, even though it already gets Wind Blast. And it's a spinner though. It gets Ancient Spin. So it can be, you get rid of your hazards for all singles players. Next, Taruger, which I'm guessing Prowler will also have these moves since Taruger is now the middle stage. It gets Shadow Slash, Good Riddance, so it gets the Parting Shot move. Heavy Crash is the interesting one. Heavy Stomp is nice. And Pump Iron, which is our bulk up move. Heavy Crash is a normal move, right? Yes, it's a normal type move, so it can use something other than Titanic Tackle. Getting Pump Iron, maybe it'll be something that Prowler uses more. Taruger is kind of like not the bulkiest. Moving on, Dynastogan. Now this one is very, very hype for me. Dynastogan is like one of my favorite Tanorians that I'm looking forward to in PvP. It gets Smackdown, which is nice, a nice strong stab, because currently it doesn't even have a fighting type stab in the game. It has Pity Punch, which is like, come on dog, that's not a move. Close quarter combat, we all saw this coming. We all knew close quarter combat was coming, no doubt. Spectral Lance, which is interesting. I wasn't really expecting this one, honestly. I thought it's gonna be a signature move of Magistrate, but I mean, I guess it's nice to have. And then the last move I'm hyped to see is that it gets Feint. Feint, obviously not the strongest move, but like for a doubles player, seeing that it gets Feint boosts its utility up like a lot. Cause like I kind of like looked at it while I was scrolling, like it kind of crossed my eye. I kind of got spoiled a little bit, but yeah, Dynastogan Stonks goes up in my books. He was already a goat in my eyes, but like this makes it even better. Next we have Balasect, which gets Vanishing Act, Heat Slam, Lighter, Creepy Crawlies, and Bright Bash. Vanishing Act, so it has like a little bit of pivoting action. I'm surprised, did it not get this already? No, it never had it. Wow. So yeah, it gets Vanishing Act, Heat Slam, Lighter, which is our game's Will-O-Wisp, so we can have a little bit of utility, get the burn on things. Creepy Crawlies, a 2 to 5 hit move. So you can use it with like a loaded dice kind of thing, which I'm surprised it doesn't get. Maybe like it'll get it later or it's a TM, who knows, but I'm surprised I don't see Firework Barrage, so it can push the loaded dice set more further, so you can run dual stabs with Creepy Crawlies and Firework Barrage. Then it gets Bright Bash. Threw me off at first when I seen this because I thought it was Bright Beam, but no, it says Bright Bash, which I'm guessing is a physical light type move. Don't know how strong it is. Don't know much about it. Maybe I'll have some things on the screen if we get some more information on it. Next up we have Dual Ram, which so it gets Armor Press, Close Quarter Combat, Mystical Renewal, Debris, and Steel Strike. Getting Mystical Renewal is pretty nice. It gets reliable recovery. If it keeps Hard-Headed, then it could be like a crazy good physical wall, because Hard-Headed halves all contact moves, which is pretty crazy considering the fact that it already has like a base 125 defense stat. Debris, so you can get your layers up, another hazard boy. And then we get Steel Strike, which is I guess nice for other fairy types. So yeah, pretty solid for dual ram. I still don't see a steel alloy. Hopefully it gets that by level up or a TM, so you can like utilize this armor press set more. Next up, we got Bjork Chop, which gets Bloom Bash, Ancient Spin, Heat Slam, Low Blow, and Heavy Stomp. Heat Slam is I did not expect that one. Bjork Chop getting a fire type move is kind of funny. It get Ancient Spin, so it's another spinner. Man, y'all singles players, y'all eating good, bro. Golly. It gets Low Blow, a priority. It gets priority. Bjork Chop might actually be very good. It gets Heavy Stomp. I can't think of off the top of my head what it would need it for. Maybe something like Torturous, or like, I don't know, if you're somehow faster than Land Pyro. I don't know. I guess it was just for fire types. Heat Slam, so you can hit other grass types. That's kind of crazy. Yeah, now I'm really hyped for Bjork Chop. I always thought it's gonna be super underrated. I just hope that Berserk gets changed to like Guts or something, because I'm not a big fan of I like the damage, but I'm not a fan of like taking all that recoil, because it already gets Jungle Rush, and on top of Berserk, if you one-shot something with Berserk and Jungle Rush, I think you're gonna be down to like 30%, or something has a high HP stat, you might just drop off that. You might just trade right then and there, which is, I'm not a big fan of that. But yeah, Bjork Chop, have my eye on it, so this makes it even better. I'm surprised about the Heat Slam. I'm still shocked about it. Next, Cosmic gets Starstream, Down to Earth, Psychokinesis, Trap Card, and Inversion. Trap Card is another hazard setter. Psychokinesis, Stronger Stab, then Sight Surge or Cerebral Pulse, whatever it had at first. Inversion could be good for, I'm thinking about it in a double sense. If this gets Space Time Inversion, another new move, which is a Cosmic type trick remove, you can use Inversion on like a teammate that had his stats dropped, and then like flip it so it has like now stat boost. Down to Earth is a new move. Like, we got the description for this move, but I don't know, it's the way he typed it out. I cannot understand what it means, because the description we have for it is the user's Cosmic type is removed until the turn ends. So okay, you would think like Roost. With +1 priority, heals 50% HP with negative priority. So like, can it change priorities? Like, I'm gonna ask around, and if I get an answer, I'll put it up on screen. But like this, like the description confuses the hell out of me, I'm not gonna lie. So I think the way it worked is that it removes the Cosmic typing first in the turn, and then it gets hit. Like, so any damage to take, it doesn't factor in the Cosmic typing, and then it heals at the end of the turn. That's how I think it's gonna work. I'm confused on the wording. I don't like the wording, it's kind of confusing, but Cosmic getting a recovery move, it's pretty nice. And it also gets like I said, better, I mean, it already had Shooting Stars, but I guess if you don't want to keep dropping your range attack, then you can use Starstream. Pretty solid move tutors. All right, next up we have Magician, which gets Toxins, Wind Blast, Heavenly Choir, Distant Veil, and Pixie Pocket. Pretty solid moves overall. Toxins, Wind Blast is some air type stab we got going on here. Heavenly Choir, stab light type move. I mean, Wind Blast is not stab, it has just an air type move that it can use. Heavenly Choir is dying stab. It gets Distant Veil, which is our light screen, so you don't have to keep using Crammers, because that's what I was kind of thinking. So I'm glad this is not the case, but like, I hope that other light types gets Distant Veil, and like Imminent Shroud is our dark type Reflect, so I hope other dark types get Imminent Shroud, so it's not just on the Christmas bugs. And then Pixie Pocket, which is our game's fairy type knockoff. I mean, that's good utility. Like, it still has higher range attack, but obviously it could be like used for just good utilities. If something wants to swap in, you can just get rid of its item. I was just looking at the next line, going to Acooster. Like I just said, other dark types will get Imminent Shroud, so I'm glad to see that's the case. So it's Imminent Shroud, Moonshine, which is interesting, Ancient Spin, so another spinner, oh my god. Smackdown, so you don't have to use close quarter combat. Then Low Blows, priority dark type move. Interesting. I did not expect to get Moonshine, honestly, but hey, that one got recovery. That's pretty cool. I'm surprised Magician doesn't get down raised then. All right, Rooted Bash, it gets Bloom Bash. What does this moon does? It gets Wash Away, Cultivation, Rooted, and Armor Press. I was not expecting it to get Wash Away. It's a radish. I mean, I guess since you like wash your radishes before you like cook them and stuff. So I guess cultivation is what I thought it was. That it's growth from Pokemon. So +1 outside of your terrain, +1 to both of your attacks outside of Fertile Land. But inside Fertile Land, you'll probably get +2/+2. Which is, I don't know if Rooted Bash would use it. Maybe on like a space-time inversion team, maybe. It gets Rooted, which makes sense, which is our game's Ingrain. I don't see it being used too much. And Armor Press, which, I don't know. What is, Rooted Bash doesn't, I mean, I guess it has an okay defense stat, so. I don't know, I'm interested. I'm just surprised and Wash Away, honestly. I did not expect to get water type defog. So we have it like, singles players, y'all are eating, bro. Y'all have so many hazard removing options. Like Jesus. All right, next up, Citrus, my goat. Citrus. What you get? Sharing is caring, so it gets the Fairy type Draining Kiss. It does get Pixie Pocket, Mystical Renewal, Energy Break, and Seed Storage. This is a crazy Move Tutor list. So it gets Draining Kiss, it gets Fairy type Knockoff, it gets Recovery, it gets a ranged fighting move, and it gets Seed Storage, which is our game's wish. So you can seed pass to another Tanorian. Citrus's massive HP stat passed off to something else on your team. This is pretty big because Energy Break being one, because like it would have a hard time with metals. So the fact that it has Energy Break is pretty big for like Drakes and Tortresses and Lampyros. I'm very surprised it got Energy Break, but this is pretty big. Mystical Renewal is obviously good. So get rid of items is also nice. This is just a very good. And then I think Sharing is Caring also gets boosted with Gracious. Gracious is the ability that gains 30% of the health that it recovers. So if you run like Nutrient Drain, Sharing is Caring, it will be almost unkillable. Citrus is gonna be crazy. All right, next up is Zestrik, which I already saw the first one, which was kind of teased. So it gets Pixie Pocket, Jungle Rush. Bo gets Grass type Flare Blitz. Okay, it already has Citrus Slash. So I don't know why this is up here. It does get Cultivation. I'm surprised if Citrus doesn't get it as well. That's kind of, maybe it's Hammer Punch, which breaks screens, which I think I would use more since Cramorous is going to be such a prominent doubles Tenorian, or even PvP in general Tenorian, singles or doubles, and getting rid of its screens is like pretty big. Cultivation, I mean, Zestrik is pretty fast. Maybe I can't see myself using this, but like it runs into the problem of like, what else would you run? Because you probably want your dual stabs, and then in doubles you probably either want Protect, or if you're dropping Protect you run Pixie Pocket or Rotten Blast. I don't know if you can fit Cultivation maybe on like specific sets, but I mean it's not a bad to have the option. So all right, scroll down a little bit. Then we got Drippo, which gets Toxins, Wash Away, Flash Flood, Wave Crash, and Storm Surge. Storm Surge Drippo, am I right, fellas? Yeah, unless Drippo has like some kind of stat change, I'm not seeing any of this getting used all too well. I mean, I'm not seeing Drippo get used all too well. It has good health and defense, but like everything else is just like, you know. The fact that it even gets Storm Surge is pretty crazy. Yeah, I mean, I guess it's nice that it gets Wash Away with Hazard Remover. Manual Flood is nice. Hopefully more water types get Manual Flood, or like the manual moves, like it should get spread out way more. So we got Beacon, which gets Homing Pigeon, which from what I remember is our air type U-turn. It does get Storm Surge, Wind Blast, Shine Bright, and it does get Gust Glide. Beacon actually shoots up a little bit in my eyes because Gust Glide is pretty good since the speed is kind of middle of the road, 77. Like, it's not like slow per se, but it's not like fast either. So getting Gust Glide is nice, so without having to like choice lock yourself into something. Probably even pair it up with like Storm Surge and Gust Glide, or if you do want to run like a Scarf set, you can run Homing Pigeon. Homing Pigeon plus like Shine Bright and Tidal Wave and Thunder Strike or something like that. Wind Blast, who knows. So yeah, Beacon goes up a little bit in my eyes. All right, so we got Scarachnid, we get Psychokinesis, Aggravate, Night Beam, Toxic Bomb, and Toxins. I mean, I already suspected Psychokinesis since it already gets Psy Surge. Aggravate is an interesting one. So now for all the singles players, like y'all, lead Mind Game will be crazy with the Scarachnids because the lead Scarachnid v Scarachnid leads with the Architect. So now you got the Aggravate games to play on top of that. So now you don't need Architect if you want to run Aggravate. So you can run like a terrifying Aggravate Scarachnid. So the opponent can think, oh, he doesn't have Architect, so I can get my trap card up. But you have Aggravate, and you just, I mean, you'll have to win the speed tie if you're both running the same amount of speed. But you can just aggravate them thinking, oh, he doesn't have Architect, so I can get my trap card up for free. Then you just bust out the Aggravate, and then you can fire back with a Night Beam, which is pretty nice. So you can hit it back for super effective damage. First you had to just pesky plague each other, which was kind of awkward. So now you get super effective damage. Toxic Bomb is more so for the fairy, and it gets toxins as well. So like, yeah, the lead Scarachnids will go crazy. You'll lead your Scarachnids, and then you don't know if you want to aggravate, you don't know if you want to toxins, you don't want to give your trap card. So you can just run like a full-on lead Scarachnid set with aggravate, toxin, trap card, and then maybe like mono attack with like pesky plague or psychokinesis. Next we have Watts, which gets Capacitance Dump, Flare Up, Psy Surge, and Gust Glide. I'm very happy that TOT's going the, I wouldn't say the Pokemon route. I guess you could say the Pokemon route, where like things get things that you wouldn't expect. Like Watts getting Psy Surge. It does not sound like a real thing. Watts getting Gust Glide. It's kind of big, since for the longest time, I don't know if it gets changed. Like I said, we haven't seen the new stats yet. But if it hasn't changed, Wasp is one of those Tanorios that kind of disappointed me, since I thought it'd be like that fast, but like not too strong, but strong enough. Kind of like a Galvantula kind of stat spread. But like instead we got like a weird mixed attacker which isn't that fast. So Gust Glide can kind of circumvent that, and also with the fact that it gets Power Surge. So its range capabilities is even better, which Capacitance Dumps is this game's discharge. Hits everything on the field and has a 30% chance to paralyze. And it gets Flare Up, which is like, I don't know why this thing gets Fire type Explosion, but I mean, hey, Watts needs something, so he got something. So this, I think this makes Watts a little bit better, because at first I think you had to like just scarf it, but like that feels kind of bad to do if it doesn't have like any kind of pivot. You can run like a Sash, Gust Glide, +3 attack, or like Gust Glide, Power Surge, because it's not too slow, you know what I'm saying? Because base 95 is actually kind of good for TOT standards. Next up we got Copernica, which has Curse Spell, Starstream, Night Beam, Lighter, and Psy Surge. Curse Spell, I think it got changed because the current Curse Spell is like Ghost type Scald, but I think heard that it's getting changed, so it might not be the same afterwards. But if it stays the same, hey bro, that's pretty good. Oh my god. Starstream, so you don't have to keep using Shooting Stars. You have a standard, good, consistent cosmic move. Night Beam is a funny one because on the wiki, it said that Copernica got Night Beam. So like the whole community, when the game first dropped, was like, yo, my Copernica didn't know Night Beam. My Copernica didn't learn Night Beam. Did I skip it? Did I manage to skip it? But the whole time, it just didn't get it. Everyone was looking at the wiki thinking that it got it, but it really didn't. So that was a little funny era. Gets Lighter, that little bit of utility, can't go wrong with it. And then it gets Psy Surge. Everything gets Psy Surge. I just realized that a lot of things get Psy Surge, but yeah, pretty solid. Then you got Expersica, which gets Pixie Pocket, Down to Earth, Shadow Slash, and Sumo Spin. Pixie Pocket is an interesting one. I didn't expect it to get that. Down to Earth makes sense because I mean it's a cosmic type move. Shadow Slash, Expersica is kind of a weird one to look at because his stats got leaked. There was a glitch in the game where if you leveled up Sierra in the snow, it will turn it to Expersica, but Topia decided to be a party pooper and debugged everyone's Expersica from them. So they all changed it to Copernicas again. So now we all have a Copernica in our box with like Spectral Lance. So that's fun. But yeah, these are interesting moves. It also had an ability where like it's kind of crazy where you get like a power boost if you're like at full HP. So maybe Down to Earth is pretty good for it. Who knows? Then Sumo Spin is, I'd say it's pretty decent for it, since it's probably going to be a space-time inversion attacker with like be a minimum speed and stuff like that. So I don't know, we'll see. There's only so much speculations I could do with this. So next up we have Lumisaur, which, oh my god. Oh my god. This, I don't think people realize how this is gonna go. Okay, so Lumisaur gets Space Jam, Shooting Stars, Pollen Burst, Homing Pigeon, and Shimmer Surge. The big one for me being Space Jam, which is a 100 base power spread move. So like, oh my goodness. And like Lumisaur, a lot of people don't know, but Lumisaur used to have the highest range attack stat in the game before Lampyro came along. But yeah, like this is pretty crazy for doubles. But having something this strong with a spread type 100 base cosmic move, and it gets Shooting Star, so it has single target damage as well. This is gonna be massive. Oh my goodness. It also gets Pollen Burst, which is another spread move. Granted, Buzz Blast will probably be better, but hey, spread moves don't hurt. Damn, we got all these spread moves, but no wide guard in the game. Yo, Fyzx, what are you doing, bud? Homing Pigeon, which I already had Orbital Loop, which I think people will still use because Orbital Loop is stab, so I don't see it being like that impactful. I don't know. Who knows? I think it's Shimmer Surge, which is man, it's nice to have. I mean, it has a way to hit Cramorage, which is, hey, it's always great to see. But like, this is pretty good. This is very good. As a Lumisaur fan, this is amazing. Next we have Antera, which gets Bloom Bash, Low Blow, Pump Iron, and Quick Sting. I mean, nothing crazy. It's just, meh. I wish it got like Close Quarter Combat or like Pixie Pocket, maybe even like Brute Force. Cause like a Bug Grass type is like, maybe even Smackdown or something like that. Or Good Riddance. Good Riddance would probably be a good one for it to have, since I mean it's based off of Star Wars and stuff. I don't know. I don't watch Star Wars, so who knows. It's pretty middle of the road when it comes to its Move Tutor moves. All right, next we got Chiroto with Tail Flick, Toxins, Phototherapy, Dawn Rays, and Mystical Renewal. Okay, so it gets your normal type Dragon Tail, which could be a very big disruptor. Chiroto is going to be one of those Tenorians. Like, I'm curious to see how it plays, I should say. It kind of gives me Shinsini vibes, but like a normal and light type with like no resistances for real, but it has very good bulk. Not much going for it, but like a lot of these moves does make up for it, because it does get, like I said, it gets Tail Flick, so you can force your things out to take hazard damage. And you can, like, as you can see, you have Toxins, so you can like poison things if you need to. Phototherapy, which I think we were told that it's going to be this game's heal bell, so that's pretty nice for it to have for like a cleric role on the team. And then it gets Dawn Rays and Mystical Renewal, which kind of does the same thing. I guess Dawn Rays is more of a doubles thing where you can like heal your partner as well, so that's nice for it to have. I thought I'd get one or the other, so having it both is like, this is like the ultimate support Tanorio right here. All right, next up, Flyradiant with it. So Flyradiant gets Steel Alloy Armor Press, but Dual Ram doesn't. Okay, sure. Flyradiant gets it, but not Dual Ram. Hey, my boy Dual Ram got robbed. Pesky Plague, Shine Bright, and Iron Cannon. I mean, Iron Cannon makes sense since it's based off of a lamp. Pesky Plague is a very strong move for it to have, especially since it gets access to like glow up. Yeah, I mean, everything else is kind of expected, other than the first two. But everything else is pretty expected. I mean, Pesky Plague, I wasn't expecting to getting that. Imagine if Lumisaur got that. Oh my goodness. Champolin. This is the most gaslit Tanorio. They kept saying, oh, it's not real. Champolin isn't real. That's not a real Tenorian, guys. Where are you getting this from? Only for it to be real. Ego Punch, Pump Iron, Iron Claw, and Electro Punch. Ego Punch is a physical move, but it's based off of your opponent's range defense, which is pretty strong, honestly, because I can think of a lot of Tenorians off the top of my head that have a weaker range defense stat, which this would be very useful for. So Iron Claw, which is a new move. I'm not sure what Iron Claw does. If I do know in the future, I'll throw it up on the screen, but currently I have no clue. And Electro Punch is pretty good, so it can hit like waters and air type, which otherwise would give Champolin a hard time. So hey, pretty good overall. Next we got Chromeleon, which gets Heavy Stomp, Bone Crest, Pixie Pocket, Debris, and Armor Press. So you know, unless this thing has completely new stats, I don't think any of these matter, unfortunately. I don't think any of these matters, to be honest. I mean, Pixie Pocket and Debris probably matters quite a bit, but like Heavy Stomp, Bone Crush, and Armor Press is like, its attack stat is like 88. A defense stat is like 92, and then like everything else is just like 60 or below. Unless they changed him, I don't know. Next, Coral Punk, Pump Iron, Tectonic Shake, Ancient Spin, and Iron Claw. Another one. I don't know what this Iron Claw move is. Pump Iron, Coral Punk seems pretty good. Tectonic Shake having so it does have the Edgequake combination because it does get Landslide. Next, Shimmer Star, which I assumed it would get Shimmer Surge. Like, come on, dog. It's a star. Shimmer Star, Shimmer Surge. It gets Sharing is Caring, which is interesting. It gets Distant Veil, Ominous Shroud, which I'm guessing that it meant Imminent Shroud, and then Iron Cannon. You can threaten other Gem Stars for quad effective. Other Gem Stars and other fairies. Very, very interesting. I think Gem Star would be pretty underrated, especially on like a space-time inversion team, since it's not the fastest, but you can use that to his advantage. Like rock fairy is like not the easiest thing to wall, so I don't know, we'll see. Then we got DJ. We don't know its stats yet, but I want to just see inversion, Rainbow Beam, Tail Flick, Iron Cannon, Thunderous Cry. I don't know, like I said, it's kind of hard to, I mean, Rainbow Beam is nice since, I mean, you can have like any type of Rainbow Beam that you want. Most likely probably gonna be like a for fire moves though, since it already has Thunderous Cry. I guess you can use the poison one as well, I guess. Another inversion Tanorian, then Iron Cannon. Pretty okay. Next, we got Funglow, which Vanishing Act, Sleepwalk, Toxic Bomb, and Mystical Renewal. So it does get Reliable Recovery. I think it already had Seed Storage. It did not, actually. It did not. So yeah, now it has actual reliable recovery, which is pretty good. I mean, Funglow is going to be one of those ultimate support Tenorians, which I do have my eye on in doubles because its abilities and all of its utility that it has with like redirection and Shine Bright, Mysterious Dream. It has toxins, a lot of utility. So adding Vanishing Act, which adding Pivot on top of that is pretty crazy. I'm not gonna lie, it's pretty crazy with Vanishing Act. Next we have Morup with Ancient Spin, Sandblast, Crystal Cannon, and Shadow Slash. 2 range moves when, I mean, currently it's not a range attacker. I mean, looking at his stats, it's barely even an attacker. Hello. But having Spin and Shadow Slash is nice, I guess. But otherwise, I'm guessing maybe this Tornado form that they emphasized here will be like a range attack. I mean, like a mixed attacker, but who knows. Next up, we have Bulldog, which gets Pump Iron, Debris, Heat Slam, Close Quarter Combat, and Vault Chase. Maybe this will make sense when we get GR Bulldog. If we do get, I mean, it has to get a GR. Like, no one's gonna use a base 77 across the board Tenorian. Bulldog is like one of those gimmick Tenorians, so I'm not gonna be that hard on it. It gets nice moves though, so I mean, hey, maybe in like draft or something like that, it could be pretty useful with like Debris. But I ain't gonna go too hard on Bulldog. Next, we got Constructor, which get Construct, Debris, Iron Cannon, and Sandblast. So range Earth move, range Metal move, hazards, and then Construct. Construct was Morup's signature move until now. It's a move that stops all Tenorians from setting up entry hazards on your side of the field as long as you're in the battle. So it's kind of like Architect ability in move form, which seems gimmicky. Wasting a whole move slot on preventing hazards doesn't seem like the best use of a move slot. Constructor is not the fastest thing either, so you would think you would need to I mean, I guess most hazard setters aren't the fastest either. I don't know. I don't see this move being used that much. Any singles player, let me know. All right, next we have the TOT poster boy himself, Fordrake, which gets Draconic Rend, Electro Fang, Spectral Fang, Heavy Stomp, and Tail Flick. Pretty meh Move Tutor moves, if I'm being honest. Like I say, it's one of those things where Draconic Rend is like, okay. Electro Fang, I think I've recommended this one. I've also recommended Burning Bite, but I guess you didn't get that. Spectral Fang, I mean, okay. You already get Shadow Slash. At least you need to hit something for like quad effectiveness. Who knows? Heavy Stomp is a good one though. I'm not going to sleep on this one. Giving it a way to hit other metals and gems harder. Especially metals, because otherwise Fordrake kind of gets hard walled by other metal types. So Heavy Stomp is a good one. And then Tail Flick, I mean, it's pretty solid for like phasing out, I don't know, like something that's setting up, trying to set up in your face or anything like that. I'm not gonna sleep on Electro Fang, but Spectral Fang, I'm not too sure. I prefer if that was like Burning Bite instead. Pretty solid overall. It's pretty meh. It's okay. The only ones I really like is Heavy Stomp and maybe Draconic Rend, since you don't have to use Dragon's Fury. Maybe Electro Fang could be good against like waters. Maybe like Mysticade. He kind of like gives it a hard time, but who knows. Next we have Termitate, which I'm guessing this one being for Termitator as well, which gets Hydro Hammer, Wash Away, Horn Rush, and Toxins. I don't know what Horn Rush is. I'll probably put it up on screen if we get more information on that, but it gets defog, it gets your strong water move, and it gets status. Pretty okay, pretty solid. Ain't nothing too crazy. I want to know what Horn Rush does. I'm very curious on what this move, because it's another new move that we don't know about. Next is Cheer Up, which gets Mega Beam, Sharing is Caring, Mystical Renewal, Phototherapy, and Blood Siphon. I guess it makes sense because like it's a nurse, and like obviously nurses draw blood when you go to the doctor. So I guess, but like I'm thinking, when you think of blood siphon, I don't know. Maybe I'm thinking too much about like vampires. So I guess it makes sense. But like pretty solid overall, honestly. So it has more like utility. You get your recovery move with Sharing is Caring, Mystical Renewal, you get your heal build, ultimate like support Tenorian. So you probably want like Blood Siphon, Safeguard, Cheese Strat, who knows. Next is My Goat Shinsini, which gets Close Quarter Combat. Oh my goodness, Close Quarter Combat, Pixie Pocket, Side Surge, Faint, and Energy Break. This could be crazy. Okay, oh my goodness. All right, so oh, Fyzx, you cooked with this one, my boy. Okay, if Shinsini stays the same stat wise, or at least relatively the same stat wise, this could be crazy. I think the attacking moves could be for like a potential GR or maybe a evolution. Hopefully just a GR. I really hope they don't touch Shinsini. I'll take a GR, but maybe not a evolution. And if he does get an evolution, hey, keep the stats the same or something, bro, please. So all the attacking moves is like whatever until then, but it getting Faint. Oh boy, this is pretty big for doubles. This is pretty big because it already got the ability Huggable. It already had the move Distracting Aroma, so it getting Faint as well. What? Oh my goodness, this yo, I really can't wait for PvP. If they didn't do Shinsini dirty with the stat, if they just didn't touch it, this is gonna be like one of these staples in the doubles format. Like I cannot express how big this is or how like meta defining this possibly could be, especially with Pixie Pocket. Like, it will be a very, very good support Tenorian. I'm very curious about these fighting moves though. Maybe he does get that leaked evolution that we saw from a while back, who knows. But man, this could be huge depending on how this goes. Oh my god, I'm cheesing so hard right now. Let me just move on before I get stuck on this for a long time. All right, next we have Sun Gadem, which gets Glow Up, Pedal Tornado, Psychokinesis, Nutrient Drain, and Shine Bright. I'm surprised it doesn't get Cultivation. Maybe it'll get it by level up, because like it does get a One with Nature ability. I don't know if it keeps it, but it does get an ability called One with Nature, which gets a speed boost every time it's in the fertile land. So you would think like Cultivation plus One with Nature and it can go crazy, but maybe in the future. But these are pretty strong moves overall. I mean, now there's going to be a Psychic and Light type. Shine Bright and Psychokinesis are very good stab options. Nutrient Drain, something that you can like get your health back, especially if you've got some glow up set up, so you can be like unkillable on your range side and get your health back. Pedal Tornado is more of a risky option, but I mean it's another option. So yeah, this is pretty good for all the Sun Gadem lovers, so good stuff, Sun Gadem. Next we got Viperous, which gets Terror Scream, Mystical Renewal, Wash Away, and Pixie Pocket. Everything's getting Wash Away. Pretty solid overall. Terror Scream is pretty good, so it can hit other light types. Terror Scream is very good for light types. Okay, Mystical Renewal, get that reliable recovery, Wash Away so you can get rid of hazards, and Pixie Pocket so you can get rid of items. So yeah, pretty solid for Viperous overall. Terror Scream is definitely going to be a staple on some sets, but you're going to have to make room for it, I think, because you're still going to want Snake Stare, Shimmer Surge, reliable recovery. So you have to like move around your move set. Something else probably have to have hazard removal, or you just got to lose out on longevity. Next we have Stryoger, which gets Debris, Stun, Close Quarter Combat, and Volt Chase. So another hazard setter. So it will get this. I think this is Nuzzle. So it's an insta para move, which is, I mean, it's pretty cool, pretty good for Stryoger. But good speed control and hack shenanigans. Close Quarter Combat for stronger stab, so you don't have to keep running smackdown. And Volt Chase for your good old electric pursuit. So all you Paragrievous lovers, be aware. All right, next Tanuki's. We already knew it was get Energy Break, Close Quarter Combat, Ancient Spin, Arctic Hammer, and Flash Freeze. Very, very good moves I'm seeing right here. Energy break being a big one, since I mean it's a range attacker, something that the community absolutely hates, but I mean, hey, like I said, I'm more of an adapter, so it's alright with me. It getting energy break is big, close quarter combat, so you can have a little bit of mixed action. Ancient spin, another hazard remover. Like, yo, so much things is getting hazard removal is kind of crazy. Oh my goodness, y'all singles players, hey, good luck keeping y'all hazards up, because everything is getting ancient spin or wash away or whatever. Arctic hammer, and then flash freeze for your good old priority. Arctic hammer for your physical. So yeah, it's really embracing the whole mixed aspect of Tanuki's with these moves I'm seeing here, so it's pretty cool to see. Next up we got Asteroid, which is gonna be, I think is gonna be very underrated. A lot of people are underestimating it at the moment since it has like a bajillion weaknesses, but even looking at these moves I'm looking at right now, I really think it's gonna be very solid. It gets Snow Globe, Night Beam. It also gets Orbital Loop, so Orbital Loop is no longer a signature move of Lumisword. Orbital Loop, Shooting Stars, and Arctic Hammer. Straight stab moves. But except for Night Beam, all stab moves, which is, hey, I mean, I'm cool with it. This is another one I have my eye on, because this is a very underrated Tenorian, which I think could be pretty strong if it has some kind of like setup move like Armor Break. I don't know, I really feel like people are underestimating how good Cosmic Ice is offensively. Like, there's nothing I can think of off the top of my head I can just wall it like that. I don't know, we'll see. Next up we got Blimper with Nullify, Homing Pigeon, Lighter, and Down to Earth. What the hell? First of all, I don't know what Nullify does. Homing Pigeon, a good old pivot. It gets lighter, which I mean, I guess it makes sense because it's a hot air balloon, and then Down to Earth because like hot air balloons come down to Earth. Hey man, I mean this is pretty cool. I kind of like it. I love when, like I said, I love the Pokemon route when things get access to moves that make sense. It might not be the best, it might not be optimal, but it makes sense that it gets it once you think about it. I'm gonna ask what Nullify does though. I'm gonna throw it up on screen if we find to know what it does. So next we got Thaneko. This is a Tenorian. Oh my god, this is gonna be one big sleeper pick right here. Thaneko gets the new moves, which is Charged Up, Deep Breath, Capacitance Dump, Glow Up, and Shine Bright. We already talked about Capacitance Dump, which is our game's discharge. Glow Up is the new one. Since it didn't have any setup at first, I thought it would get Power Surge, but I guess this is cool too. Shine Bright, pretty good light type move. Also good utility in doubles where it can heal your partners. And with Taneko's fast speed, that could be pretty solid. And it could be good for hitting Cram Roaches for super effective damage. When I think of Dark type, I just think Cram Roach. Cram Roach is the first thing that comes to mind. Deep Breath makes itself even faster. And then Charged Up being a newer move that we just now learned about. It gets stronger the more stat boosts you have. So this is our electric type stored power. I guess Deep Breath make more sense now. I don't know how much it will be used over just the Capacitance Dump or Thunderstrike set, but I mean, hey, like I said, more options is always better in my opinion, so I'm down with it. Next up, got Muzzle Alert, Big Muzzle. Then we got Low Blow, Bone Crush, Hideaway, and Creepy Crawlies. This is a very interesting set of moves right here because Low Blow, it gets you a nice priority. Muzzle Alert isn't the fastest, so it's pretty good for it, if anything, because like so you don't have to always be in space-time inversion. You can just get the jump on something, you get the knockout. Bone Crush is just there, I guess, because like I'm trying to think of why would you use Bone Crush over like just Ghost Stab, maybe for like Cosmics. Hideaway is a big one though. Hideaway been another move that like if you make contact with it, you lose some speed, good utilities, but I don't know if Muzzle Alert would be the best use of it. I mean, it's a good option for it, no doubt. I'll definitely be using this over Safeguard. Then we have Creepy Crawlies, which I mean, it could be useful for some pure dark types, something that's not Cramroach. Dark types are still weak to bug, especially since Muzzle Alert also gets Seed Pelt by level up. So I don't know, maybe the loaded dice options are there. Who knows? All right, next up we have Memo Tundra, which gets Stun, Arctic Hammer, Volt Chase, Ancient Spin, and Bone Crush. Pretty standard Move Tutor stuff. We see the Stun, something that electric types getting more used to. Arctic Hammer, I think this is a move that's supposed to already have on release, but it just never did. Volt Chase, more Paragrievous food. Ancient Spin, so we got another spinner, and then Bone Crush, which is some dark type coverage. Like I said, pretty solid overall, nothing too crazy. I mean, the stun is nice since it currently has a nice speed stat, so you can get the jump or something, get it paralyzed. But yeah, pretty cool. Next up we have Petalpur with Spring Beam, Mystical Rush, Bloom Bash, Psychokinesis, and Phototherapy. Psychokinesis is being an interesting one. If it keeps master range, then you have a physical 90 base power psychic move, which is, it'll make it a physical move over it's currently a ranged move, but it'll make it physical. Spring Beam is a big one because it's a move that sets up, it's a fairy type range move. I think it's like an 80 base power range fairy move that sets up the fertile land as a secondary effect. It only has five uses, but having a move that does damage and sets up the terrain you need is very, very big. So Petalpur is the one that I have on my eyes on in doubles, because like having terrain control will be very, very important. I feel like some field effects do seem pretty strong, so yeah, we'll have to see about this. Petalpur, again, Bloom Bash. I might still use Ivy Entanglement. Bloom Bash might be stronger, but I like the speed control option in doubles. And then Phototherapy is nice for singles, and you can have like your Heal Bell, your Cleric Roll. It doesn't get Mystical Renewal. I just noticed that maybe it's a TM, or maybe I'll get about level up in the future, but that's why I first saw Mystical Rush. That's why it kind of caught me off guard when I read it. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty cool. Mystical Renewal not being here is pretty interesting, but okay. All right, next we got Hallusion, which has Aggravate, Iron Volley, Mystical. Wait a second. Hallusion got Mystical Renewal before Petalpur. Fyzx, what the hell is going on here? Mystical Renewal, Sand Blast, and Allergen Blast. I mean, it's okay. Like, it's nothing too crazy. I got Sand Blast so you can hit other Hallusions, and Metals, since they kind of wall your stabs. I mean, I guess Metal doesn't resist Psychic in this game. And getting Mystical Renewal is so weird. It's so weird. So weird that it gets this move, I will be honest. Iron Alloy, I guess he meant Steel Alloy, which is another weird one. All these moves are weird for it to have. Like, literally only ones I think that kind of makes sense is Allergen Blast, but all these moves are so weird. Boy, so weird, bro. All right, next, Rap Paralyze gets Volt Chase, Ancient Spin, Outpace Assault, Iron Claw, and Heavy Stomp. Heavy Stomp so you can hit other electrics and Rap Paralyzes. Outpace Assault, I mean, it's okay. Another Spinner, Volt Chase, some trapping action, and Iron Claw, which is, I will have to know what that means later. Nothing that really jumps out at me. Well, like I said, obviously Volt Chase is nice, but then you have to run like Volt Chase plus Electro Fang plus Draconic Rend, and the last move is kind of up in the air, because you don't want to go mono Volt Chase. Or maybe you do, who knows? I mean, I guess you can do like some Head Ram Outspace Assault combination. I don't know. All right, we got my boy Torturous with Debris, Steel Strike, Heat Slam, and Tectonic Shake. Very solid moves, very, very solid. I love the Heat Slam, so it has like fire coverage for whatever reason, but we'll take it. Tectonic Shake is always nice. That spread Earthquake. Steel Strike, so it actually has steel coverage, and then it has your hazards. Bro, hazards is gonna be everywhere. Everything gets Debris, everything gets Ancient Spin, everything ges Wash Away, I mean, not too many things get Trap Card. I realized that. The only thing that got Trap Card was like, what? Just Spirit, I think? The only thing I remember off the top of my head. So yeah, Hazards is gonna be the name of the game. All right, next we got Marmon, which gets Toxins, Close Quarter Combat, Heavy Crash, and it does get Faint. Okay, because I ain't gonna lie, I was gonna just skip over this, but Faint is a big one for me. All the rest of them is like, okay. I mean, Heavy Crash is nice stab, Close Quarter Combat is why, and Toxins is for your good old stall and wall and shenanigans. I mean, Faint is nice for doubles, obviously, but like Marmol is not exactly the thing you think about when it comes to, I mean, a lot of people hype this thing up, but personally, I don't know. I just think it's way too passive. Like, even with Faint, yes, it does get Debris and stuff like that, but I mean, it gets Tunnel Away. I don't know. Whatever. Next, we got Stalagstone, which I guess will go to both Slat Trap and Chandeledge. I guess it gets Induced Gravity, Landslide, Debris, Horn Rush, and it does get Brute Force. And so this is a little bit off topic, but this could be pretty good since Slat Trap does have this loaded dice moveset going for it with Creepy Crawlies and Pebble Thwack, and if you have Brute Force on top of that, that could be pretty strong. Chandeledge is like, Yeah, Chandeledge. But Flagstone might be a very good Tenorian in Little Cup. I know this is like way off, and talking about Little Cup already is kind of crazy, but Festive Flagstone, to be exact. Regular Flagstone will still be okay, but Festive Flagstone will be pretty strong with Ice Earth type in Little Cup. Like, I remember like looking at the Little Cup meta, and I made a whole little tier list for like doubles Little Cup, and like this thing is pretty up there because the Ice Earth is a pretty hard type to wall. And so the fact that it gets brute force on top of that, and it also gets cool moves like Tunnel Away and Arctic Hammer, Tectonic Shake, and now it's getting all these other moves on top of that with like Landslide and Horn Rush, which I don't know what it does yet. It's Induced Gravity. I don't know why. Maybe that's more for Chandeledge, but yeah, this, I don't know, this is pretty good. More good for Little Cup than the actual Tenorians themselves in Slap Trap and Chandeledge, so who knows. All right, next we have the Emo Brothers with Nihilich and Magistrate, with Nihilich getting Pixie Pocket, Pump Iron, and Frigid Apparition. I mean, Frigid Apparition is nice. That's cool. I thought Magistrate already got it, so I thought it would get it as well. Let me check. Yeah, Solom got it, so both of them already had it. So I guess this makes, the only new one is Pump Iron and Pixie Pocket. Knockoff is also obviously nice, and I guess Bulk Up is nice for Nihilich. Maybe Brute Force would have been better for both of them, but whatever. Magistrate getting Bright Bash, Pixie Pocket as well, Pump Iron as well, and Photo Therapy. I don't know why. I do not understand why, but all right. Bright Bash, I'm guessing being that light type physical move, which just smokes Nihilich, by the way. Jesus Christ. Nihilich gonna have to get like I don't know, I mean, I guess it does get Entropy Slash, I guess. So I guess Magistrates needs something against Nihilich. All right, now we're getting into the some of the legends now. Starting off with Brutry, Big Brutry with Boom Bash, Hammer Punch, Shadow Slash, and it gets Steel Alloy. Jesus Christ, y'all know Brutry has the highest defense stat in the game right now, so the fact that it can make itself even tankier is kind of crazy. So God forbid this thing is armor press. Oh my god, it's over for everyone. Jesus, they gave it Steel Alloy but not Dual Ram. Great. Shadow Slash is good, so it can hit like ghosts harder, like certain ghosts, and psychic types as well, which would probably give it a little bit of a hard time, so at least hit it back super effectively. Hammer Punch to get rid of some of these imminent shrouds, right? One of the screens, I forgot which one does which one does what. And then Bloom Bash, so you don't have to rely on IV Entanglement, which we still don't know how strong Bloom Bash is, but we assume it's stronger. Next we have the boy Land Pyro with Firework Barrage, Iron Volley, Lighter, and Psy Surge. This one already got leaked a while back, actually, by Topia. Shout out to Topia. But yeah, it's kind of like another weird Tanorio to get Psy Surge with Wasp and all these other Tenorios that get Psy Surge. Lighter makes sense, and then it has Iron Volley and Firework Barrage, so it can lean into like a loaded dice set, which I'm assuming we will get a loaded dice item, seeing that we got both of these moves on Land Pyro as Move Tutor moves. So if we don't get a lighter dice on launch, both of these are kind of useless because it relies a little too much on luck. But yeah, this already got leaked a while ago, so I already get my thoughts. So yeah, this loaded dice demon with some nice utility and a weird Psy Surge on the end. Next we got Vulture Bags with Stun, Armor Press, Bright Bash, and Iron Alloy, which I guess he means Steel Alloy. Again, this man be forgetting his own moves or something. Nothing too crazy. I guess Stun is nice for some support. Armor Press, it does have a high defense stat actually, so it's not too bad. It has 111 defense if I remember correctly. Bright Bash, light type, good stuff, so I guess you can hit Cranbroach. Like I said, Cranbroach is the first thing that comes to mind every time. So, and then Steel Alloy, I guess it could do like the Steel Alloy Armor Press double up here. That's pretty cool. It's not stab or anything, but it's an option you can get away with. All right, one of my goats, Mysticade. All right, Mysticade, what you got for me? So Mysticade gets Wash Away, Energy Break, Nullify, Tail Flick, and Polluted Waters. Water Defog, which is pretty cool for the singles. Energy Break, nice fighting type. Stab, so you can hit your dark types back. I mean, you already had light type moves. So you can hit your dark types, you can hit your metals, you can hit your ice types if you want to. I mean, energy break is just nice. I guess more so for like breaking screens than anything, in my opinion. Like other than that, I mean, I don't really see the use of it all that much. But I mean, hey, like I said, more options is always nice. Nullify, a move that I'm not sure what it does yet, but I will put it on screen if it does. Tail flick, so you can force things out that's trying to set up on you. That's always nice. It does get down raised, so you can do like some cool recover tail flick stuff. And then polluted waters, which is like water type scald, but for poison. I mean, pretty nice. It's good for whittling things down. It doesn't like limit offensive capabilities, so it might not see that much use, but who knows. All right, next we got Tapioca with Wash Away, Joyful Burst, Hydro Force, Snow Globe, and Tidal Wave. I would have loved to see Distracting Aroma. I feel like Distracting Aroma would have been a big one for Tapioca. Wash Away, obviously your defog. Joyful Burst, it's cool fairy move, but like also in doubles that could be pretty nice to have on your Tenorian, since you can like heal, get rid of statuses from off your allies, so that's nice. Hydro Force actually could be pretty strong since it sucks up the flood itself. It's not gonna hit like too hard, but flood boosted, stab boosted, and Hydro Force, hey, can be pretty good. Snow Globe, that's pretty nice to have. Nice ice coverage to have. Then you have Tidal Wave, which is even stronger than Hydro Force. So this could be nice to have over Hydro Force, honestly, if you need that like burst damage. So yeah, I'd love to see some more support out of Tapioca. Next we have Carpentoid, which Carpentoid gets Tea Leaf, so it's not a signature move of Tapioca anymore. Jungle Rush, okay. Wash Away and Heavy Stomp. The only one that kind of makes sense is Wash Away. The rest of these moves, I don't get it. I don't get it, and I won't get it, and I won't speak any further on this. All right, moving on. Dark Fantasy, Sharing is Caring, Night Beam, Shine Bright, and Glow Up. Now, this is the only Tenorian that I really think needs to be reworked. Like, its stats, like, it has too good of a typing for having stats like that. So, if they do it right, these could be very good, solid options for it, especially with it having set up with Glow Up. So, yeah, very solid overall. Night Beam is pretty good. Yeah, nothing too crazy. Next, we got my boy Scarisight with Wave Crash, which I suspected it would have. It has Heat Slam, Peekaboo, Ghostly Glare, and Vanishing Act. Okay, I was not expecting some of these. Peekaboo I was not expecting. I guess it makes sense because like it kind of pops out of the little fish that it's hanging out in. Vanishing Act I was not expecting. Ghostly Glare makes sense. Vanishing Act and Heat Slam I was not expecting at all. I'm very curious of what this Heat Slam move does. I'm very curious about this because this could be Scarisight is a Tenorian that I definitely have my eye on. I think it's gonna be like my favorite quick swimmer, but we'll have to see. Vanishing Act. Whoa. All right, next we got Garza, which, oh my goodness, it has Brute Force, Hydro Hammer, Hammer Punch, Bright Bash, Pump Iron. This bumps up its quick swimmer tendencies for me because this is kind of crazy. So Brute Force, quick swimmer, Brute Force has a lot of potential. Hydro Hammer, so you can hit harder with recoil. Hammer Punch, so you can break screens. I forgot which screen, so you can break screens. Bright Bash is a nice option. And then you got Pump Iron, which is good for another option for over Brute Force if you want to boost up your defenses as well. So two boosting options, which is always nice to have. So yeah, this boosts the up Garza. I don't know, I like what I see. We'll see. Well, I'll get back to Garza. All right, next we got Hammer Roar with Pump Iron, Wash Away, Hammer Punch, and Arctic Hammer. I think I recommended Arctic Hammer, so I'm surprised that it actually got accepted. Hammer Punch, getting a nice fighting type move. Water type defog, which I'm pretty sure most water types will get. And Pump Iron, so it doesn't get Brute Force, but Pump Iron, which, I mean, I guess is a nice alternative. Yeah, Arctic Hammer is good, so you don't have to rely on Freeze Fang. So yeah, I like what I see. Earth Champ, my goat, talk to me. What you got? So you get Debris, Infection, Pump Iron, Armor Press, and Hammer Punch. I do like the Pump Iron Armor Press. I do like that. I'm a big fan. It isn't a steel alloy, but it still can boost your defenses up. And while you're pumping iron, you can obviously buff your attack as well, so you can use your Poison Stab to get rid of the fairies. Armor Press for the metals. I do like what I see. I do hope it gets It'd be cool if we get Feint as well, though. I like to see Feint up here. I was kind of hoping for Feint, but it's whatevs. It's whatever. I'll do like this. It gets your hat. It gets nice hazards. Like I said, hazards for singles. The singles boyos, y'all gonna have to let me know, because everything getting hazards and hazard removal is like, I guess it's nice that it's not gonna be like the hazards users aren't gonna be so centralized, so you can literally use almost anything that you want. There's a lot of options for hazards at the moment and hazard removal. All right, next up we got Pinsa with Wash Away Polluted Waters, Snow Globe, and another Hideaway user. Okay, so obviously you get your your Wash Away. Polluted Waters is also a nice whittling down kind of thing you got going on here, because otherwise a lot of people were just going to use Pinsa as this, you swap it in, you just knock yourself out with last stand, and then you just try to sweep, which I thought was a waste of a slot, because you would want more out of a Tanorian than just to swap in, take a hit, die while getting max layers of debris up, and then just that's it. So having like more utility of getting rid of other hazards and slowing down your opponent with Hideaway and getting a potential poison with Polluted Waters is also nice. And Snow Globe, so you can like do something against like the grass types that obviously threaten you. So yeah, it's more depth to Pinsa than just swap in, take a hit, die while getting max layers. All right, next is Illumigant, which does get Power Surge, Tidal Wave, Hydro Force, and Snow Globe. Didn't Illumigant already have Hydro Force? It did not. Oh my goodness, Illumigant was really struggling before. Illumigant and Mr. K getting introduced at the same time was a big mistake, because oh man, Mr. K just outshines it by a mile. I mean, now that it has a new stat spread, it might be different, but man, it was rough for Illumigant lovers. But yeah, I still am team Mr. K, but I'm not sleeping on Illumigant. Next we got Hologram, which gets Pixie Pocket, Frigid Apparition, Good Riddance, and Aggravate. Oh my goodness. I don't think that Fyzx realized that he just made Ghost type Incineroar. Because Hologram, if you don't know, already had Menace, which is this game's Intimidate, which lowers your attack stat on switch in. Good Riddance is this game's Parting Shot. Hologram also already has Feint, which is this game's Fake Out. So yeah, it gets Frigid Apparition, so it can hinder things on the range side, because it does have a lower range defense stat, and it has Pixie Pocket, which is this game's knockoff. So like literally the Incineroar package with Feint, Menace, Pixie Pocket, Good Riddance. All you need is like a very good Ghost Stab other than Peekaboo, and then boom, you have Ghost type Incineroar. This is going to be another double staple. Like Hologram just shot up way more, because it did have Feint and Menace, which I was looking at thinking like A tier double Tanorian, but I think this just bumped it up to S. Pixie Pocket and Good Riddance and Frigid Apparition just instantly S. I think it will be a S tier double Tanorian. Singles we'll have to see, but wow. And Aggravate too. Oh my goodness. Oh man, like I can see this right here being a set. These moves right here being a set. Obviously probably drop one of these for Feint, Fidget Apparition, or Aggravate for Feint, and then like literally that's the set right there. Like literally this is the set. Next we got Terra Fray, which gets Aggravate, Ghostly Glare, Thunderous Cry, and Energy Break. What in the world? Why? I mean I'm not against it, but that's so unexpected. Like this can get Thunderous Cry, but Glam Cone can't. It's kind of crazy. Energy Break, Aggravate, Ghostly Glare for speed control. I mean, Terra Fray might be a pretty solid Tanorian, honestly. Like I need to see like more of his TM moves to see what else it has in his kit, but I think it will be pretty underrated, honestly, especially with the terrifying ability, and it's not too slow to where you can. It does have that weird speed stat of 66, where like it's not slow enough to be in space-time inversion, but it's not fast enough to like Scarf, because it's 1 point slower than like Phantalabra, and like obviously there's a bunch of other light types and fairy types that will give it a hard time. It does get Dust Powder though, so you can put things to sleep. So we'll have to see with Terra Fray, but I need to see a little bit more to give my like final judgment. Thunderous Cry is funny. Like seeing Thunderous Cry and Energy Break is kind of funny. Plat Agent, which gets Pathogenic Jab, Toxin, Slowbro, Debris, and Energy Break. Just fully embracing the whole mixed attacker. With now it just have support with it with Debris and Toxins, because it was already had like Toxic Bomb. Now it has Pathogenic Jab. It already had Night Slash and Night Beam, so now it gets Low Blow. And it already had Close Quarter Combat, so now it has Energy Break. So like you never know what you're facing until it's already attacked. Next up we got Barrington, which gets Armor Press, Heat Slam, Hideaway, and Flash Freeze. Flash Freeze is a new one, but I don't know why they would get this since Flash Freeze is currently ranged in the game right now. I don't know if it's meant to be physical, but Flash Freeze is ranged, so I don't know if Barrington will use that at all, honestly. Hideaway, it already had Hideaway, like I mentioned earlier, so I don't know why this is up here. Heat Slam is funny, and then Armor Press, so you don't have to run like the Armor Break set. You can do like, I don't think Barrington gets any like defense boosting moves. It does not, so yeah. I mean, it does have a high defense stat with 128, so probably maybe don't even need it. Yeah, pretty solid overall. Like I said, Flash Freeze I don't see it using, and then Hideaway we already knew it had. Yeah, you got about level up. This Armor Press and Heat Slam are pretty solid. Crustizer, which gets Sandblast, thank God. Wash Away, Tidal Wave, and Energy Break. Sandblast is the big one here, because it had to rely on like Mud Splash at first, which is like ill, and it could miss. It's the 95 accuracy, but so Sandblast is pretty good. Wash Away, more hazard removal. Tidal Wave, even stronger Water Stab here, which is kind of crazy. So you don't have to use Vaporizing Geyser. Then it gets Energy Break, which is nice. Pretty solid overall. All right, next we got Pyrex, which gets Homing Pigeon, Pixie Pocket, Last Stand, and Saddle Slash. Last Stand being a funny one, so you can like max hazard stack with Pirate. Homing Pigeon is nice for that pivot. Pixie Pocket is, I didn't expect to get this one. I guess it makes sense. And we got Saddle Slash, which until we see its new stats, it's kind of hard to say with these moves. I do like the Pixie Pocket and Homing Pigeon on it for sure, but we'll have to see beyond that. All right, so next we have Carvantula, which does get Toxins, Creepy Crawlies, Pebble Thwack, False Surrender, and Pump Iron. Surprised there's no Siege Storage here. I do gotta admit. Toxins, so you can have your good old status. Creepy Crawlies and Pebble Thwack, meaning that it does get Seed Pelt as well, so maybe it might be another loaded dice demon, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's no way they don't add a loaded dice. Like, there's too many Tanorians getting these multi-hit moves for them not to add it. Then it gets Round Body as well, so it can maybe become even stronger with like a Pump Iron or a False Surrender. I don't know. Don't sleep on. I don't think you should sleep on this. So you run like Seed Pelt, Pebble Thwack, Creepy Crawlies, and then like last move could be like I said, a setup move, or maybe you could drop one of them for like a Dark Stab. We'll have to see. This might be another loaded dice demon. All right, next we got Fontalabra. It gets Vanishing Act, Psychokinesis, Shine Bright, Night Beam, and Power Surge. We gave something with base 120. Was it 122? Dang, we gave something with base 122 range attack stat, Power Surge. Wow. It gets Vanishing Act as well. This is be nice little slow pivot. Yeah, this is pretty good. Another weird Tanorian with a weird random psychic move. But yeah, this is pretty solid overall. Power Surge is interesting. I thought I'd just keep Glow Up and then that's it. So Power Surge is pretty big. Shine Bright for dark types and other gems. Yeah, pretty solid. Another legend, the boy Lucier getting Imminent Shroud, Night Beam, Trap Card, and Outpace Assault. Trap Card makes sense. I mean, it's the Trickster. Night Beam makes sense because he's a range attack. He's more of a range attacker, I should say. He didn't have a range attacking dark move. Imminent Shroud, so you can like have your good old Reflect that he can set. And then Outpace Assault. I mean, he's pretty fast, but like, I don't know. I can't really see a use for this. I don't know. It feels a little too awkward to fit on its set. All right, next up, we got Marble with Robbery, Ghostly Glare, Rocket, Ancient Spin, and Sumo Spin. I gotta say, as a Marble lover, this is not it. This is not it. We didn't give her like a ranged earth move or like a something better, not even a Pixie Pocket. Dang. I mean, Ghostly Glare is nice for like speed control. Like Robbery, you already have Shadow Slash and Low Blow. Rocket is crazy when you have Boulder Throw. Rocket is insane, not gonna lie. Ancient Spin, I guess that's cool for hazard removal. Sumo Spin, I gotta say, I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan of like a lot of these moves, especially the Rocket and Robbery. Like, bro, what is this? What? I'm disappointed. They did Marble dirty. I'm mad. Oh man. All right, moving on. Zom Candy, Pixie Pocket, Hammer Punch, Hellish Hammer, Low Blow, and Pump Iron. Hellish Hammer, interesting. Pixie Pocket is also, like I said, always nice. Hammer Punch, pretty nice. I'm very curious about this move. I'll have it up on screen if we manage to get information on it. All right, next up, Explosion Room with Scorched Earth, Ancient Spin, Toxin, and Debris. Pretty standard, pretty obvious. It's gonna get these moves. Like literally all of them, we all knew these. So like this ain't nothing new. So I guess spin is nice, I guess, but like we all knew it was getting toxic. We all knew it was getting debris. Like next, Doolagoo with inversion, aggravate, phantom shackles, and heavy stomp. So this makes me think that this might stay physical or mixed. I don't know, no clue. But I think it already had heavy stomp. But to be fair, Fyzx didn't do these three, so these three would kind of be like up in the air, honestly. And just looking at some of these moves, they all look physical. Like all of them. Like I'm all just doing all the three of them together because I can't put a finger on any of these because he didn't do their stats. So yeah, Vampire gets Blood Siphon, Hellish Hammer, Crash or Burn, Talon Thrash, and then Frost Lichen gets Arctic Hammer, Flash Freeze, Iron Claw, and Heavy Stomp, which it's interesting for Frost Lichen because I do remember him saying that Frost Lichen will be ranged, Doolagoo will be mixed, and Vampire will be physical, but he might have changed his mind on that. So I don't know. I'm not saying this thing's name. I don't know why he's dying on this hill to not change his name. But it gets Aggravate, Bubble Blast, Hailstorm, Mud Splash, and Armor Press. Like I said, I can't really put my finger on it because the Fyzx didn't do the stats. So Forelli Rel gets Flash Freeze, Joyful Burst, Fertilize, Distant Veil, and Imminent Shroud. So Pharrell can do dual screens and Joyful Burst and Flash Freeze for priority. I kind of like that for Pharrell. Fertilize, I mean, mono terrain is also always nice. I feel like just as much as everything's getting spin and wash away, every water type should get Flash Flood. Every grass type and grass type associates, as in Sungadem, should get Fertilized. You know what I'm saying? Every fire type should get the Wildfire move. Every ice type should get the Whiteout move, and every poison type should get the Contamination move. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if that's much of a hot take or anything, but that's just what I think. Next up, we got Mekong getting Crash and Burn, Snow Globe, Low Blow, Ego Punch, and Energy Break. Son Goku himself. Crash and Burn, I mean, I don't know if you want to keep just a mono ice type. Maybe if you need to get rid of your fire typing for some reason, it could be useful. Snow Globe is nice. It's good so you can lean into the mix set more because it did get Arctic Hammer but didn't get any ranged ice type moves other than Flash Freeze. So yeah, now you can really go into both. Low Blows, nice, you already know. Priority, +1, shenanigans, you already know. Ego Punch is nice so you don't have to rely on close quarter combat, even though you might want to regardless, because I mean Mekong isn't sticking around for long anyway with its stat spread. And then Energy Break, like I said, so you can lead into your range attacking set and you can break veils. Very good for Mekong. We'll see how that goes from there. Toy, Pump Iron, Hammer Punch, Wave Crash, Iron Claw, Wash Away. Now this one's kind of interesting because as far as I'm aware, unless it gets changed, Toy is a ranged attacker. So literally all of these moves other than Wash Away does nothing for it. Like I said, unless it gets changed into a physical attacker, like none of this really does anything for it. All right, Frostloth, which gets Ego Punch, Shadow Slash, Heavy Crash, and Faint. Okay. Frostloth, talk to me now. This has potential. I kind of like what I see here. Ego Punch is good, like I said, so you can hit those things that had that weaker range defense. Shadow Slash, I think it already had Bone Crush, if I'm not mistaken. No, it had Claw Mark, so yeah, Shadow Slash is better. Heavy Crash, which is okay, I guess. I mean, don't really need it. And then, like I said, Faint is a big one. That's a big one. Like, we don't have that many Faint users, so like getting any is very, very good. Hopefully we get as much as we get all these ancient spins and washaways, we get some more Faint users and Distracting Aroma, because currently there's only like a handful of redirectors they even have either. It is what it is. This is just the Move Tutor moves. Maybe the TMs are different, who knows. Next we have Chandeledge, the big disappointment, with Ancient Spin, Bright Bash, Explosion, and Steel Alloy. No comment. Next we have Clawskit, which gets Pixie Pocket, Sharing is Caring, Phototherapy, and Glow Up. Sharing is Caring is interesting, but I don't think it's sticking around long enough to use that, especially even with a Glow Up. Phototherapy is nice cleric for your team, so you can get like dual screens, and like if he stays around long enough. That's the thing, he doesn't stick around. He's not gonna stick around long. I feel like he's gonna be up. He's gonna be like your lead screens, or he's gonna be like he has too much damage output to be doing all this cleric stuff. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. Maybe it could be a good utility to to catch someone off guard who's been ghosty glaring all your Tanorians or something. Who knows? And that Pixie Pocket is always nice for that good old knockoff. All right, he is here, and I'm scared to look at what he has. Okay, so he gets Blood Siphon, Inversion, Horn Rush, and Pixie Pocket. Okay, Invasion might be crazy. In doubles, at least. I don't know. Singles players talk to me, but in doubles, this could be crazy because think of something like Celestial or something that like spams moves that like drops his range like attack or something like that, or something that's like super slow and you can make it super fast. You know what I'm saying? Like this could be crazy because like you can just flip something's offense on and off at the drop of a hat, especially since it gets Mischief Maker, which all its non-attacking moves has a boosted priority. This game's Prankster. So say something has like, I don't know, let's say for example it has +6. Let's set this all the way up and you can't do anything about it. You switch in your Cramroach, immediately Inversion, and guess what? Now it has -6. Yo, this could be pretty, I don't know, I don't think it would be broken, but because like you are dedicating a whole slot to it, and with Cramroach you would want as much as you want out of Cramroach, so you probably want Pixie Pocket, dual screens, and then like that last move could be Inversion, but like you never know what you need. And let's say, and it's kind of useless if your opponent doesn't have any setup, you know what I'm saying? What if you just have like just raw offense with like bands and scarfs and specs? I don't think it'll be super broken, but if positioned right, it could be broken. So we'll have to see. That's kind of crazy to see. Blood Siphon is also nice to get that priority leech seed. Man, Cramroach, DNA, what you got from me? You got Pump Iron, which is funny. Blood Siphon, Sci-Fang, Burning Bite, and Stun. Wow. Okay, so this is Burning Bite. Wow, I did not expect that. I mean, I'm not against it. And getting Pump Iron as well, because this is another Tanorio I have my eye on because it has Feint as well. Feint and Hideaway. So Blood Siphon, Hideaway sounds crazy. Blood Siphon, Hideaway, Stun, and like, I don't know what that last move would be, but that could be like a crazy little stall set. Maybe if it has like a substitute, that could be the last. That sounds like an obnoxious set. Granted, it doesn't have the craziest defense stat, but man, stunning everything would be annoying. All right, next we have Strike, then other goat with Horn Rush, Stun, Bright Bash, and Head Ram. Head Ram would be cool, but like its best stab move is Column Crash, and it's something that removes all your stat boosts. Stun is good utility. It doesn't get Pixie Pocket. I don't see Pixie Pocket here. I don't know if it's not getting that anymore or not at all or anything, so who knows. Horn Rush, Bright Bash, those are like whatever. IMO. So yeah, overall. We got Cold Boy with Good Riddance, Blazed Blast, Iron Cannon, and Pebble Thwack. I thought it already had, I guess it has Iron Volley. Like these two, I guess, makes more sense if you don't want to run the loaded dice. It doesn't even need loaded dice because it has an ability called Lucky Shot, which makes it, it's basically skill link. So you can run like max hit, Firework Barrage, and Iron Volleys. So if you don't want to run that, you want to run Sharpshooter instead, you can run Blaze Blast and Iron Cannon. Pebble Thwack is an interesting one since it doesn't have like the highest attack stat, or doesn't have an attack stat at all because it's at base 54. But Good Riddance is pretty cool. Good old Parting Shot. Hey, it could be a Cineroar. Not really. Not with those stats. It has its typing though. So yeah, pretty cool overall. Pebble Thwack is an interesting one. But Glacial, Flash Freeze, Heavy Stomp, Shadow Slash, Imminent Shroud. Nothing crazy. Flash Freeze is nice for priority, so maybe you can run like an AV set. Heavy Stomp, nice for metals and other stuff like that. Shadow Slash and Imminent Shroud. Pretty okay overall. Celestial, talk to me. Shooting Stars, Down to Earth, Bright Bash, and Scorched Earth. It already had Shooting Stars. Space Gem would have been better here. But Down to Earth, it has Recovery, Bright Bash, Light type move, and it already had Scorched Earth, so only 2 new moves. Because Down to Earth, you don't really want to sit there and heal with your Celestial, since I mean he doesn't have that much longevity because he has a lot of weaknesses. But who knows? And Bright Bash, which is I guess good, so you can hit Cramroach at least, because otherwise Cramroach does kind of wall. So at least that's nice. All right, we got Limufu, which gets Feint, Big One, Good Riddance, Ego Punch, Electro Punch, and Pump Iron. Very, very good. I like what I see right here because he does get low blow already. Pump Iron, he has a way to boost up his defenses and attack stat, which he's already pretty good. Like he's another one I have my eye on because when I first saw his stats, I was like, wow, why is this thing so strong? This thing is strong and he's pretty fast at base 110, base 122 attack stat. Like, yeah, he's got it going on. He gets hazards as well for singles, but like he gets faint. I always thought he would get faint, but like I don't know, some things that seem like it should get faint, it just don't. So it's kind of hard to judge faint, honestly. But I like it. More faint users, I'm all on board with it. Unless your punch is also always nice for like Paragrievous and Waters. So yeah, pretty cool. Cold Cannon, which we got Iron Cannon, Jungle Rush, Debris, and Good Riddance. More Good Riddance. Wow. Okay. Cold Cannon actually has something going for it then, because before then, I don't know. I feel like this is like the one Tanorio. I'm like, I don't know what I can do with it. Cause like I'm a very open team builder, a very open and diverse team builder, but like Cold Cannon is one of them. I just don't know what to do with it. Like looking at his stats, like I don't know. Maybe like I feel like it's just scarfing it and just going all out mixed or range or physical is too one-dimensional. I don't know. And his abilities don't really help it all that much. I mean, I guess Hardhead is okay, but it's getting nerfed. Yeah, I don't know what to do with this thing, even with these moves. I mean, Hazardous is nice. Having a nice physical grass stab is nice. A metal move is cool, I guess. All right, next, Tupidal, which gets Toxin, Stuns, Tectonic Shake, Tail Flick, and Burning Bite. Just your typical, I feel like Tupidal would just be your typical defensive stall kind of Tanorio, just pure electric. Doesn't have that much going for it. I've seen one of its abilities, like if it takes super effective damage, which is only an earth type move, the user, whatever hits it, loses like 20 or 25% of its health, something like that, which is kind of crazy. So yeah, it might just be like your stalled Sea Storage, Thunder Shield, Stun / Toxins kind of stalled Tanorio, which is like, I guess, and you could Tail Flick and just Hazard Siphon. So yeah, and then last but not least, we have Side Tide with Tidal Wave, makes sense, Wash Away, Sandblast, Wind Blast, and Flash Blood. I like what I see. Sandblast is interesting. I didn't expect it to get that, honestly, but I do like it. Wind Blast is nice as well. It does get Gentle Breeze already, so I guess that kind of makes sense. Wash Away, we already knew that. Tidal Wave, it makes sense. I mean, it has Tide in the name. And then Flash Flood, something that all water types should get. So yeah, that's the whole list. Let me know which ones y'all are most excited for or surprised to see. Thank you all for watching. If you made it this far, this is a pretty long video. I got to chop down. I've literally been recording for 3 hours. Oh my goodness. Leave a like, subscribe if you haven't already, and yeah, it's been Nadia. Gone.